The head of John the Baptist rolled because of the jealousy of a woman. A few years ago, I was near what seems to be a major relic of that head in the Church of St. Sylvester in Rome. The full name is Silvestro in Capite. Now that means where the head is. Caput is a head. And from ancient times it is revered there. As it happens, the future of that event was not foreseeable. It was to do the wedding, a very quiet wedding, of a dear friend of mine who was big into prayer. That was not that long ago, and a few years later on, I think about 5, she was killed near here in a road accident, and her husband has had to pick up the pieces, but actually very well because of his faith. But that's just a reminder that we cannot presume on tomorrow. And when joy is there in the air, grasp it. There's an old saying in Latin, carpe diem, snatch the day. We often waste the day planning future days and plotting future joys. But we forget that right now there might be more joy than later on. Never forget that. Today has its grace, and at least it's there. Tomorrow is never certain. Time is partly the theme of the first reading. Do you remember a few years ago when we had the change from the 1900s to the 20s? This was taken as a verse, and it's still around in various places all over the place since then. Jesus Christ, the same yesterday, today, and forever. It's in this reading here from the Hebrews. But the context is one of how we live the day, explicitly in one area: brotherly love. It goes on to identify one area of that which you, by the way, as people are very good at. It's hospitality. In Ireland, it's still there. One goes to a house and one doesn't come out with a cup of tea. Is it not true? And people still very willingly take you in. Here the house is much more available, and one can look in and see what's going on in the window. It's a different culture. But don't neglect it either, because it's something that's precious. That mutual trust we don't want to lose, and that labour in us. And there's a goodness about the Irish people which is still not gone away completely. People walk, and they don't walk by, at least in this area, without greeting you, or at least acknowledging you with the eyes. It's not the same in every place. So it's immediate, that one, how we handle each other. Don't leave an encounter with a bad atmosphere lingering. That's not complicated. It applies to everything. The phone, the encounter, the car. It's just simple stuff, but it's there right now. Simple sanctity. But it goes on. Do not neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. That was picked up by St. Benedict in his rule. When in the monastery, I was for quite a long time responsible for that area actually, both as guest master and as what is called porter. It's the one who answers the phone and goes to the door. Now it's a very quiet, unnoisy ministry, but it's the one that gives the message all the time. The people are meeting that one and the whole community in his name. So one doesn't receive a person badly, on the phone even. It was a trick I actually learned from my best friend's father in school days. He was the son of the vicar of Cardiff, and when his father, the vicar, would pick up the phone, because I wanted my friend, he would answer, "Hello?" And it was a warm hello. Well, we got the message straight away, and that bit we can master. The first impact is kind of important. People pick it up straight away, whether you're a nuisance or not to them. And then it goes on to people in prison. People who are ill-treated, and also it goes on to one specific area, it's purity. Let the marriage bed be undefiled. Now, you who are in contact with little people, remember that this whole area of purity is extremely important, because they're not now being protected as we might have been. Everything is being given to them very early, and they don't need it. Now, shield them from what's bad for their system, because giving them gadgets which perhaps later on can lead them into impurity is not a good thing. Be one step ahead, because they're not slow in picking up things. And then it goes on to the area of respect. Remember your leaders. Right now, there's a lot of criticism out there. People are demolishing priests, bishops and popes. Well, it would be more productive to pray for priests, bishops and popes, and not to use our tongue to destroy and bring down. Respect. It applies also in a family. If the parents have no respect, social order is completely destroyed. And then one last thing. Consider the outcome of their life. We've had people, have we not, all who have been very close to the Lord and have died well. Some have not died well. Think of the catastrophic ends of some people, violent ends. Killing someone and then killing oneself. It's not the best way to go to meet one's judge. So right now, while we still have time, live as though it were this evening that you will meet Jesus. Then you'll be safe. That Jesus who is the same yesterday and today and forever. By the way, that applies to one specific area too, truth. Don't think the truth can change with the weather. It's either true or not true. So let's be aware that when we're listening, we let Him teach. And the best way to learn is to close the mouth. The organ of learning is the ear. Ubi caritas et amor, ubi caritas Deus ibi est, ubi caritas et amor, ubi caritas Deus ibi est, ubi caritas et amor, ubi caritas